KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey, who is on the west edge of this fire. Jeff, what are you seeing?
Well, we've seen some homes that have been lost during this fire, but we're also looking at some homes that have been saved. We're up here on the Broadmoor Estates, which is just east of the Glen Rose Prairie, and we're looking down into the Dishman Hills area where the fire is burning. But I wanted to show you what happened over here. This fire was burning uphill toward the home that you see on the far left. Fire crews came here and did something called structure protection, where they put an engine on the house and try to keep the fire from burning uphill into the structure itself. Now, that rubble you see right there, those are actually some very tall bull pines that they worried were going to catch on fire and crown out and subsequently shower this neighborhood with burning debris, and so they simply cut them down. They made a decision to drop the trees, and that essentially halted the advance of the fire, at least for now. The wind is blowing due east from our point right now, which means the smoke is going away from us, but the fire is still below us, downhill of where we're standing, and as soon as this wind lightens up, the fire below us is actually, if you look right there, Tim, just to your right, it's starting to crown out through those trees. It's making its way up the hill, and so now firefighters are going to have to move from the structure that they saved to the one that we're standing behind right now. This one is under construction, and they're going to have to come over here with their hoses. That's crowning, by the way, what you see right there. When the fire gets off the ground, it makes its way to the ladder fuels, those lower branches on the trees, and then that carries the flames aloft and causes the crowning. On your right, even more. It's a very dangerous situation, not for us, but for all the people that are downstream of this wind. When a tree crowns out, it puts a tremendous amount of embers into the air, and that's what helps spread the fire. And so this fire, or these fires that are now burning in the Dishman Hills area, might have gotten one single start, but in the wind, just from one place, the fire leapfrogs ahead with these flying embers, the crowning trees that you see right now, and that spreads the fire. My fear is that everything in between where we're standing right now on the very western edge of this fire, all the way to Highway 27 and perhaps beyond, is all going to burn. The question is, will firefighters be able to get in between the houses, hopefully people having used some defensible space, and be able to selectively let the fire burn some places, but not into residential neighborhoods? We were hoping that we'd start to see the wind die down by now, and perhaps it is, but we're up here on a ridge top, and it's blowing, I'd say, at least 25 miles an hour. And every time one of those trees crowns out, it sends embers advancing this fire, and that will be directly to the east of us. There's a lot of homes below us. You just can't see them because of the smoke, and so Fire District 8, which is the outfit that's trying to protect these new homes in the Broadmoor Estates area, they definitely got their work cut out for them, because no matter how hard this wind blows, that fire always wants to burn its way uphill, and I anticipate it making it all the way up to the back side of this house. Fortunately, there are engines here that can move over. In fact, here comes a hand crew with a line right now. On your left, Tim, over here about at 9 o'clock. These fellows are going to come over here with a charged line and reinforce what might be some sort of dozer track that's below us. Even though that's in place, there's enough heat moving uphill, convective heat, in the advance of this fire. If it works up, it could start something on fire in this housing area. That's why people these days that live in the hills want to make sure that they don't build those big decks that stick out beyond the ridge line, because that superheated air comes charging up the hillside and can light things on fire very quickly. They're making their way over, and there is in fact a dozer line behind us. But as you take a look one more time downhill to the right, you're going to see all the smoke coming up and that fire working its way up this hillside. Have not seen the air tanker in the air for about an hour now. We hope perhaps it's on a more faster moving part of this fire. David, Robin?
And Jeff, I know that some of these engines have a limited amount of hose to reach some of the flames, and I can only imagine, I don't know for sure about how many fire hydrants are in the Dishman Hills area. Are they able to reach what you see there? Are they just trying to make a line on the outlying areas to establish some sort of fire line against this fire, Jeff?
And when this housing division was put in the last 2 years ago, that was done specifically with in mind that the fire department would have good access, that there would be a large enough turnaround, and I'll show you what the turnaround looks like over here in the circle where the engine is, before they could get approval from the county commissioners to even come in here and build on this ridgetop, which is typically a dangerous area. the developer had to promise to put in a gigantic turnaround, something that would allow an engine to come in and turn around, point its nose toward the safety zone, and then hold up. They, of course, also had to heavily hydrant the area with sufficient water pressure, and that's not always easy to do up on these ridge tops. But that is one reason why Broadmoor, at least for now, is not having any structure damage. It's also helpful. The wind is blowing the fire away from them, but it's going to be a long night. And again, Dave and Robin, when the wind stops, wherever the fire is, it's going to find its way uphill. And if these homes have been protected by a easterly wind up to this point, as soon as the wind knocks down, all that land you see below us, anything that's on fire is going to start marching its way uphill. And so it's going to be a terribly busy night for firefighters. I do want to share with you one piece of information that I heard on the scanner. It's not confirmed, but I understand that there might be at least one fatality already in this fire. A fire investigator called to the scene of that fatality. We don't know how this person died or how much it's related to the fire, but we think that there has been a fatality in this series of fires in our area.
All right, Jeff.